All right. Hello, everyone. How are you doing? Hi, Marina. Hi, Janet. Hi, Camelia. Welcome to Traveling to the Diamond World. My name is Alejandra Jasso, and I am your host for this series. I have the pleasure to introduce our special guest for this month, and I want to share a short story of how I met or heard about Rob. In 2020, when we started to do the online programs to the pandemic, we started to do study groups with volunteers and students leading groups to study better. And one particular person was very popular in all the sessions. And that person was Rob. And I didn't know why. And maybe that happened to you as well. Like you don't know who is Rob. So I joined one of his sessions and I was amazed about his knowledge and how he delivered all the content. And I was like, who is that guy? So I asked him, like, hey, we have a volunteer and he seems to be pretty cool. And he was like, duh, Alejandra. He's been around Kishe Michael for more than 20 years and he's a senior student. And I was like, wow. So I keep inviting Rob to leading study groups. He also lead a compositions for Medicine Buddha. And now he is leading a meditation with us. But why I want to share this story, not just to know you a little bit about who is Rob, but to plant the seeds for all of you that no matter what, in what stage of your studies or your status, you always can volunteer and plant tremendous seeds to serve. So thank you, Rob, for being so humble and serving in many areas of ACI and to be here with us today. So how are you, Rob?
Oh, great. Thank you so much for that. That was really sweet.
Yeah, thank you for being here. So I will let you do your magic and cultivate us and dance with you. Thank you so
Cool.
much for being here.
Yeah, thanks. Well, good morning. Thanks for choosing to get up and meditate or stay up, depending upon which time zone you're in. So I'm gonna switch it so I can see everybody. Ah, there we go. So I can see everyone's faces. It's really nice. Um, so this morning we're gonna do meditation. I try not to talk too much before it. I'd like to leave a little time at the end if there are possibly a few questions about maybe your meditation practice, um, maybe some problems you might be having. Maybe you don't have the opportunity to ask people all the time. So I'm going to try to leave about 10 or so minutes at the end. So one of the first things to do if you have a meditation practice is to, and I've done this already, is to really get your room clean, your space. So whatever space, whether it be a small space or a large space that you're going to meditate in, kind of one of the first preliminaries to meditation is to clean the room. And so I got up early and I've been meditating every day for 27 years. I think that's when Geshe taught me to meditate. So I learned to meditate from Geshe Michael. His roommate, Venerable Punsak, he was the first person teaching meditation. And then he passed me very sweetly on to Geshe Michael. And then I spent the next 27 years studying with him. And so he I had the fortune of being able to sit with him every day for a few years, actually, in the beginning. Because I was one of his assistants, we would meet every morning at 10 a.m. and meditate for an hour and 15 minutes or 20 minutes. And I had not meditated much before, or very long, should I say. So one of Geshe-la's brilliant pieces of advice is to start slow, starting with 10 minutes, and then each week adding 1 minute until you get to the end of the year. So somewhere along the way, a little longer because only 52 weeks, but you'd want to get to about an hour per day. That does not include the preliminaries, which we will go through this morning. Those take about 10 to 15 minutes. So ideally, at the end of this process, you'll be at an hour and 10 to 12, 15 minutes, somewhere in that range. And honestly, it just takes that long to sort of get yourself into a nice pace, essentially. So, and then today I will stick to you believe you're at 46 minutes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set my alarm for 45, but don't open your eyes if you hear my bell go off, because I'll use the last minute or so of that meditation to sort of come out of the meditation. So I'll guide you, so don't worry at home. And that should put us at exactly 46 minutes. We'll be doing the lion's dance. I've been doing this meditation. I've been following along to the one that Geshe-la taught in Arizona in 2018. I will put the link so that you can maybe do this at home. And you might not get through on your own the full lion's dance quite yet, and don't worry. Just every day, stick to your guns, set the alarm for 46 minutes, next week 47, and then eventually you'll have the full hour to really explore that meditation. And honestly, you need the full hour to explore the lion's dance meditation or any meditation that you're doing. So, so ideally, you've already cleaned up your room a little bit. Don't worry about doing it right now. Just in the future, I cleaned my space. I have a little kind of like a shrine, I guess, where every morning I'll put a few reminders of teachers in my life or people that maybe I'm concentrating on, and I'll put their photos. I grabbed one today, which is, I think it's my nephew. That's Cooper. Just to know why I'm practicing, really. And so I got up early and set up that. I put out a few special offerings, and then I have a place where I meditate every day. So it's important that you find a space that you can meditate in every day. So if anyone knows in the yoga systems, prana, sort of the energy of that space kind of builds up. So you want to have the same space that you're coming to every single day. Meditation should be like brushing your teeth. So just decide, I'm going to do it every day, no matter what. And that's it. Just do that. It's not harder than that. I'm an ex-athlete. I fully believe in the just do it system. Just do it. Literally, you won't regret it. It'll bring so much joy to your life. So many benefits. I think you'll be happier. You'll be more well-adjusted. In your professional life, you can see perhaps trends that other people won't see. In your family life, you might anticipate things or projects perhaps for your children or your spouse, answers to problems that maybe you didn't know before. All of these coupled with the main thing, which is being a good person. That has to be our foundation. It's just being kind. There's no other substitute for kindness and service. So Zale said, ACI is a great organization. I would highly encourage you to reach out to her after this and look for ways that maybe you can volunteer. I'm sure they can use so much help. And they are so good at what they do, so organized. It's just amazing. So with that being said, everyone get ready to meditate. And whether you're translating at home, I really encourage you as well to allow yourself to drop into the meditation. So for you translators, you can just close your eyes if you choose. If it's too hard, that's okay. So my first teacher, Venerable Punsok, said, find your seat. So this is the place where you will sit for the next 46 minutes. That could be a chair, just comfortable. I sit in a cushion. I have the same place I sit every day. Actually, there's just a wall behind me, but this is the Planet Jumper. I actually have 3 cushions because I have knee problems. So most important is that once we sit, we don't want to move. So do whatever you can to make yourself comfortable. You want to have your back straight. And I scan my body quickly. I'll kind of get all of the kinks out of my body very quickly. Sometimes you can kind of shrug your shoulders and then just drop them. Take a deep breath. I put my hands on my knees. I put them like this. Geshe says you can experiment with having a little separate. I've been doing this for 25 years now. We started this way, which is fine, but eventually we switched to this. So I just put these on my knees. And then kind of once your body gets settled, just in your mind, decide, I'm not going to move. And just do that. Don't move. Really don't move. You'll want to move. Don't do it. Okay? So you can close your eyes. I'm going to set the alarm real quick. Okay. So you can open your eyes slightly if you'd like. If your eyes are open, they say you're focusing. If you could focus anywhere, you could see you'd be about maybe this far away from your nose. That would be like where you'd be looking, and you'd be looking down the direction of your nose, but you're not quite focusing, but this would be the area that you'd be looking. And then your eyelids are slightly closed. I find that distraction, so I close my eyes. Scan your body one last time, and then decide, finally, this will be the spot, the place I will be meditating in. And then begin by watching your breath. Start with an exhale and then an inhale. And so we'll do about 30 or so breaths. And this is a place to get your mind into neutral. A piece of advice that Geshe gave was on the exhale, you can push a little extra air out on the first 3 breaths. If any time during the meditation you get a little tense, you could always do that. Just spend a little time letting all the air out. The inhale will take care of itself. Your body should be, your back should be like a stack of gold coins, straight. Shoulders relaxed. Your head and neck, not too far forward, not too far back. Put a small smile. Relax your forehead. Relax your face. Yesterday, Geshe said, make it like a baby's face. In your tummy, you can do a very slight, you can kind of tighten it very slightly, and that will help keep the back straight, especially the lower. And then watch your breath. Sometimes I park my mind. I imagine I'm sitting at the tip of my nose, watching the air come in and out. I grew up by the water, so I used to watch boats come in and out of the port. So I'll use that often to just watch the air moving in and out. Don't force your breath, just observe. The first step would think about your motivation, why you decided to get on a Zoom call this morning and meditate as a group. Geshe said his first teacher told him, you take one pencil, you can break it. But if you put a bunch of pencils all together, you can't. So as a group, we're actually much stronger. And so you could become someone who could reach the goals that are set out in these ACI courses, in the meditations. You can be ultimately happy, ultimately serving people. So think about that for a second. Whatever motivation you have, just move it up. You could be hired to work here, but my motivation is that I could be a benefit to not only the people close to me, but to all living beings in all places. When you do these at home, you can spend about 10 to 12 breaths per step. You don't have to think of it now. I'll do that. But next step is think of someone or some people who might need help. Yesterday, Geshe led us in a meditation, and there's another war happening now in the Middle East. And we have friends all over the world on both sides of the conflict. And so many people are going through a hard time right now. Extreme, horrible things happening. So let's dedicate your meditation maybe to them today. That there be peace in the world, that there be no conflict, that they're comforted, healed, attended to. Next is we're going to need a guide. We need help to get to the place we want to go. Someone who's maybe been there before, who understands the steps we need to take. And so we need a teacher. So if you have a teacher, you could think of them. If you have a heart lama, if you have, it could be someone you just really respect, who's a good influence on you. It could be a historical teacher. That's okay. Living or dead, doesn't matter. But invite your teacher to come and sit across from you, knee to knee. And ask them to come here and sit. If you don't have somebody right now, you can just imagine them, this being coming to sit with you and help you and teach you. So invite your heart lung. Location doesn't matter. Distance doesn't matter. Alive or past doesn't matter. They're there. Believe that they're there with you. Next is a mental kind of offering. Think of something, a kind quality that they have that you would like to have. Sort of a mental bowing down. Sometimes you can just offer a very beautiful single red rose, which is what I've been doing the last few days. And you don't, this is just in your mind. So just imagine handing over to them this perfect, fragrant flower, your favorite. And think of a quality that they have that maybe you would like to have. Normally, I would do this first, but I reversed by accident. In my case, it's having this extreme patience and love, understanding where the people in our life are coming from, and how to develop that wisdom more and more so I can develop more and more love and patience. Next step is to, there's 2 steps, sakchang, which means we're going to clean out and then plant seeds, plant a garden. So the first step is to open your heart and admit your faults, admit your mistakes, at least to one being. This is super healthy. So just spend the morning and imagine, just confess to them your faults, the things you're having problems with, or you got angry yesterday. And then always make a plan to refrain from that. If it's something you're having a hard time with, and if you say, hey, I'm going to refrain from doing that, give yourself a time limit. Like, I won't do that today, or the next half a day, or next hour, or 5 minutes, or depending upon how bad of a day you're having. Sometimes you just say 1 minute. But try to make it something you can do. So admit your fault to them, admit your mistakes openly, break open your heart to them, and then make a plan to refrain from that. If you get some sort of tear coming from your eye, this is good. It means you regret and you want to change. Most important is this, wanting to change. Sometimes as my makeup activity, I'll recommit to the meditation. I will meditate for 46 minutes. Next is rejoice, be happy. Make sure at home you give the same amount of time that you gave to the confession. It's easy for us to know what we've done wrong. Sometimes it's hard to think of all the things we're doing well. So think of the cool things you're doing in your life. You decided to come to this meditation class. You've committed to meditating, to reaching an hour, or you've just committed to being here. Think of things throughout the day that you're doing. We're all doing amazing things in the world. There's always something to be happy about. The fact that you got up. Next is to think about maybe the good people you're asking for teachings now. So this can come in two ways. One is you just ask your teacher, hey, will you teach me? Teach me to meditate. Teach me the classes. Teach me about the pen. Teach me about planet jumping. Formal teachings. And then the second type is throughout the day, teach me. Maybe show up in ways which will help me grow, that will help me direct my life in the direction I need to go. This could be from many people, mostly around other people throughout the day. So look for opportunities. Give me a blessing that throughout the day I can see people teaching me and what I need to learn. Bless me that my heart be good enough to take it as a teaching. And then always ask them to stay with you. Your teacher, and not only that, but your good study friends, the people who influence you. Help ask them to stay in your lives. And the last preliminary we'll do at the end. So now we'll move into the meditation. So just start by, I always transition to watching 3 breaths before I move on. Now we begin the lion's dance meditation. At home, you'll be able to go through those preliminaries quicker, but I'm explaining them a bit more for you. So first, we want to be able to just listen maybe to the sounds in the room. Just observe the sounds that are going on around you in your environment right now. Maybe you hear outside, maybe you hear birds, or whatever it is as an environment right now. Just listen to the sounds. We are in the desire realm, so these are the sounds of this place. Try to focus in on one if you can, but observe. Each time we're going to cancel out where we are. In this case, we'll be canceling out the sound, and now we want to drop in a little quieter, deeper So now try to listen to the sound of your heartbeat. Don't worry if you can't quite really get it, just try to listen. Each time we're going to drop down a little quieter. Anytime your mind wanders, just gently bring it back to listening to the heartbeat. Now we'll cancel that out. We've been dropping into the next part, which is to go within the heart. Actually, go inside the heart now. I put a little room kind of at the heart chakra, which is at the center of the chest, back towards the spine at the level of the heart. So not actually at the area of your heart, but the level. I imagine a room, so cancel out now, listening to the heartbeat. Now go within the heart chakra. Drop down a little more. I imagine this room for me, it's always round and has windows. For me, it's in the mountains. I'm up high and there's light coming through. And just imagine you're sitting in your heart in that room. Temperature is perfect. There's a cushion for you there. White light coming through. And we want to get even quieter. We'll drop down another level. And so in the center of that room is another room, an inner room. For me, it's also round. And so I cancel out the last one and I move into the inner room. I open the door and walk in. It's quieter. There's a cushion in the middle. And I sit down, doors closed, light still coming in, but now you're in the inner sanctum, even quieter, relaxed, perfect temperature, nowhere to go. You can start to feel the energy in your body change as you get quieter. Maybe there's like a warmth inside you throughout your whole body. You're getting deeper. Let's go deeper. And there's a table next to you. And on the table to your left is a glass container with sugar crystals in it. Perfectly kind of clear sugar crystals. And then you're going to take your left ring finger. I always imagine licking my finger slightly to pick up the crystal. And so I put my ring finger on there, and then a few crystals get on my ring finger, and I look at them in front of me. And then I look at one of them. And so now we're going to cancel out where we are now and drop in deeper. Now drop into that one crystal, pick one, and now go inside that crystal. You drop in again, and there's room for you there, plenty of room. And you go in, and there's like a room. So imagine now dropping into that next room within that sugar crystal. Now you look out, and there's just ocean, infinite ocean all around you, as far as you can imagine. So you're canceling out that last one and moving to the ocean. Now your mind is expanded, wide, free. Now above you see sky, infinite sky, all the planets and stars. Now you're just seeing sky, infinite. Everywhere you look is just sky. Your mind is now as big as the sky. Imagine that now. Canceled out the ocean. Now there's just sky. Everywhere, you're just in the middle of it. Now you have a feeling to want to get quieter. And so we're moving towards no thoughts. So now just observe. See if a thought comes up. Don't attach yourself to it. I send a little mini laser towards it, like a missile, and I think of a laser and I just poop, I destroy it, just turns into mist. Let's just sit and get even quieter. We want to move towards no thought. So observe something comes up, just destroy it with your laser. And now we'll be moving into, we'll observe that for a second. Now we move a little bit into no thought. Something comes up, just don't attach yourself to it, just come back to no thoughts. Relax. Enjoy. This is not a place we want to stay in. But this is where we actually move into the actual part of the meditation. So now think of we're going to cancel out that, and now think of the teachers in your life. People who have helped you, your mom, your dad, friends, teachers. Could be historical people. If you have a heart lama, think of them. Think of their good qualities. For me, it's patience and love. So at home, you could spend a bit more time thinking of all the teachers in your life. But let's just think of one teacher in particular. And just think of the qualities they have that you want. Patience, love, and for me, understanding. Now think of maybe what you must have done to see that in your life. Maybe think of a seed you planted and see that you must have been patient. You must have been loving. You must have shared your wisdom. And go back to the teacher. That quality is coming from you. It wasn't just in them. They don't have that quality. That teacher isn't there. Let that one slip away, the one that had nothing to do with you. The only teacher that is there is from your seeds. That one's there. The other one doesn't exist from their own side. Think of the teacher who came from your seeds. They're there. They're with you. They can help you. Ask this teacher to stay with you. I imagine that they begin to float up and they come to sit on the top of the crown of your head. You can make them about 2 inches or so, maybe the size of your thumb, a little smaller. And then we want to ask them to come and sit in our heart all day. So I create a little room for them in my heart chakra where they can stay all day. So you ask them to descend down like a little elevator shaft made of ruby light into that little room. And so say, please come into my heart. And you imagine that they just begin to descend like warm honey is the feeling, actually. You should feel some sort of like heat or warmth. If you don't worry, but it will come. And imagine they're descending down into that little chamber in your heart. And then you ask them to stay with us and help you throughout the day. And then the final part is the dedication. So remember back to we were dedicating to peace in the world, to all places in the world that are at war, and that there be no peace. So you can imagine with 3 exhales, this beautiful white light from meditation from our group actually heading out and helping the people in conflict right now. So you can just imagine there's a white light goes out of all of our breaths and reaches out to the people in the world who need help, who are in conflict and war. Do that now. May they have comfort. May they have peace. May there be an end to all violence in the world. And then you can just open your eyes and stretch if you need to. I'm sorry we actually went over time. I apologize for that. I'm going to put my email in the chat. And if you have a question, feel free to write me. I know all of you probably have plans and somewhere to be, so I don't want to take up your time. If you need to go, it's totally fine. I think I'm going to just leave it to Ale, because I know she had something to say before you all left.
Thank you so much, Rob, for the beautiful meditation. Thank you all for joining us today in another session of Traveling to the Diamond World. As you might know, we have many surprises for all you almost each week. So I want to invite you to check our website and see what exciting classes are coming up this week and month, so you can plan ahead your schedule. Meanwhile, I want to say that this coming week on Tuesday, we will have a special class for the series Bringing Wisdom to Life with Tim Lowenhaupt. And we want to invite you all to come and join us. And remind you that also next week, we will start the retreat, Medicine Buddha, with Geshe Michael Roach. This retreat will happen at Diamond Mountain Retreat Center and also will be online. So if you haven't signed up, we invite you to do it. You won't regret it. We have many special classes that we are preparing for you. And lastly, I want to say that we are preparing our 30th party anniversary of ACI in our next Slam Steps of the Path in Kyoto, Japan. This will happen in December. So if you don't have plans yet for the holidays, we invite you to come and join us and celebrate. For more information about the Kyoto Lamrim, please check the links that will be posted on this Zoom chat. And also, I want to say thank you, all of you, for joining this series. We create these classes for you all to keep studying and to keep learning. I want to thank also all the sponsors of ACI that help us to offer these classes free of charge. So thank you all. And if you would like to donate to ACI, you can do it with money, or you can donate your time. As Rob mentioned before, we are always looking for volunteers and sponsors to keep helping growing the organization for many years to come. So thank you all. And thank you all the translators. Sorry if I am speaking too fast. Thank you, the tech team. Thank you all the Telegram chats coordinators, the students, and all the amazing ACI community that we have online. Thank you so much and see you next time. Thank you, Rob.
Bye.